Welcome to the Raise Your Bars podcast, where it's all about elevating your life one step at a time. With your hosts, Chris Baker and Al Rattan. Together, we're here to guide you through the transformative journey of self-improvement and success. Have you ever wondered what behaviors and actions you need to change to achieve the results and success you desire in life? Well, you're in the right place. Each episode, we dive deep into the strategies, mindset shifts, and practical steps you can take to raise your bars. From personal development to professional growth, Chris and Al share their expertise, experiences, and the occasional tough love, all designed to empower you to reach your full potential. So, whether you're looking to make a big change or simply fine-tune your path to success, grab a seat and let's raise those bars together. Now, let's welcome your hosts, Chris Baker and Al Rattan.
Well, everyone, welcome to another edition of the Raise Your Bars podcast. Al Rattan. I'm here with my good friend, Chris Baker. Chris, what's new, my friend?
What's new? It's like 90 degrees in Florida. We're enjoying life and have been training this week. Tired, but tired in a good way. So it's good to be here and sharing this with others.
Awesome. Yeah, you rub in the 90 degrees there. It's snowing here
Yeah.
in Manitoba today. April 2nd, we're recording this, and it's snowing in Manitoba. But that's status quo for us. Anyways, we're on to our next session of Mindset Mastery, and we're into Module 2 now. This is our first lesson in Module 2, and we're going to be talking about abundance versus scarcity mindset and posing the question, what is your default? Now, a common misperception about the abundance mindset is that it's all about acquiring wealth. Yes, an abundance mindset includes a positive money mentality, but it encompasses so much more than that. People with an abundance mindset believe that there's enough to go around for everybody. This includes resources, successes, attention, recognition, knowledge, and yes, money. Now, its opposite is a scarcity mindset. People who view the world through this lens believes that resources are limited and must be guarded at all costs. Now, these mindsets were first described in Stephen Covey's self-help classic, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, our attitude around abundance and scarcity have a significant impact on our happiness, fulfillment, and success. An abundance mindset is critical to planning your future, pursuing education, building relationships, and scaling your business. Now, again, our learning objectives for this lesson are going to be talking about the difference between this abundance and scarcity mindset. And in this module, you're going to learn about each of these mindsets and identify your default setting. You'll also discover how your mindset was formed and the steps you can take to shift to an abundance mindset and why it's crucial that you do so.
So let's start with the abundance mindset, shall we? So this is recognizing the difference between an abundance mindset and a scarcity mindset is the first step towards change. People with an abundance mindset are confident that there's more than enough to go round. They approach negotiations, relationships, and life in general from what we call a win-win perspective. They possess a strong sense of self-worth, gratitude, and security in their personal and professional life. This allows them to freely share recognition, resources, profits, and responsibility. They see the opportunities life has to offer instead of looking at the negatives. This isn't to say that they're naive, far from it. They can assess a situation and come up with practical solutions, trusting that innovation and ingenuity will eventually win the day and help them resolve any issues. So some abundance mindset traits include easily expresses gratitude. They're creative, they're cooperative, optimistic, innovative, generous, and secure.
That's good. Now, during difficult times, an abundance mindset is what keeps us optimistic. With an abundance mindset, you can take what appears to be a negative experience and turn it into a positive one. And Chris and I have talked about that so many times, right, Chris, in our podcasts about taking those looking at those challenges and turning them into opportunities.
hmm
So contrary to popular belief, an abundance mindset doesn't amount to magical thinking. Now, it maintains a realistic view of the world, taking a solutions-focused approach to any difficulties that may arise. Believing that the world is dangerous, resources are scarce, and that you have to hoard supplies isn't practical. And in fact, it can lead to actual scarcity. Think of runs on stores prior to a storm. Think of COVID-19 and the great toilet paper shortage of 2020, right? More often than not, a scarcity mindset leads to empty shelves, not bad weather.
Yeah, so true. Now, there's two levels to a scarcity mindset. The first is belief that resources are limited, and the second is the fear that you'll never have enough. People with this scarcity mindset operate out of fear. Every action they take is an attempt to grab at limited opportunities. They may even resort to deception and unethical practices. People with a scarcity mindset are confined to a small, stressful view of the world. Everything they want is in limited quantities or is running out. This outlook leaves them feeling overwhelmed, frightened, and pessimistic. People with a scarcity mindset feel envious, angry, powerless, frustrated, highly competitive, pessimistic, fearful, and anxious.
Yeah, the scarcity mindset in the long run, it's not going to help you get ahead or succeed.
No.
It restricts growth and jeopardizes relationships, cutting people off from any potential support system. These people isolate themselves on purpose because they're afraid of losing what little they have. Now, some people mistakenly believe that a scarcity mindset keeps you hungry and fighting for more, but the opposite is true. It keeps you trapped in fear and hampers your progress. A scarcity mindset can never be satisfied. No matter how much you acquire, it will never be enough. Now, a person with this mindset will only see what they are lacking. A scarcity mindset can disrupt many facets of your life. It can be particularly devastating if you're an entrepreneur or small business owner.
Scarcity mindset can drive small business owners to appeal to everybody instead of focusing on a niche.
We've fallen into that trap, haven't we?
Exactly.
Like we've experienced, learn from us, don't do that.
Yeah.
Niche down.
For sure. Yeah. It can also drive them to cut the marketing budget at the first sign of trouble. Again, false economy. Maybe they use their blog or social media or a website to get everybody into their sales funnel. And instead of weeding out inappropriate leads and just gathering those people that are going to buy from them. Now, any decision made out of fear or a belief of scarcity will inevitably lead to negative consequences in the long run. So by dropping the scarcity mindset, you'll reduce unnecessary conflict, competition, struggle, and fear, thereby keeping you open and receptive to opportunity.
Having an abundance mindset will profoundly shift your perspective. You'll feel it in your personal and your professional life. It relieves you of the stress you hold around situations where you have no control. It promotes health and well-being. It helps you attract the things you want, not due to a magical secret force, but because you will be acting and interacting with people based on excitement and motivation, not fear. And abundance mindset completely eliminates FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. If you believe in unlimited opportunity, one missed experience will not throw you off. So here are just some ways an abundance mindset will change your life. It opens you up to possibility. An abundance mindset frees you and opens you up to all the possibilities that are out there. You'll stop dismissing dreams as wishful thinking and recognize that they're achievable. Like we said, no more FOMO. When you believe the world is full of possibility and there is abundance everywhere, you're going to stop worrying about missing out on social events, plans, or opportunities. You'll be confident, and there's something else even better around the corner.
Yeah. What's more, people will want to be around you. You'll become more generous with your time, resources, advice, and knowledge. And as a result, you'll attract people to you. Interactions will no longer be a winner takes all competition. So your relationships will become more collaborative and authentic. You'll love your life more. Who doesn't want that, right? When you have an abundance mindset, you appreciate life more. You'll start to see the riches of the world, not the negativity or lack. You won't get stuck on setbacks, but will instead see them as an opportunity to learn and grow. Change becomes less scary. Let's face it, change is non-negotiable. It happens whether you like it or not. An abundance mindset allows you to be optimistic in the face of change. You'll start to look for positive outcomes and not naturally assume the worst. You'll get more done. People with an abundance mindset inspire and motivate others. Leading with this mindset boosts productivity, confidence, and excitement. Problems get easier. An abundance mindset eliminates a worst case scenario mentality, and it will allow you to focus on what's working and come up with solutions for things that are not. And there's more responsibility. To some, this might sound like a negative, but if you take complete responsibility for your life, you can create an action plan, strategies, and solutions. The things you can control won't be left to chance.
Yeah, that's a pretty good list of positive things that happen when we operate in an abundance mindset. Chris, I want to throw something back to you here. If you had to pick one of those, what's one you've struggled with in the past that's really been maybe a little bit of a challenge to overcome, or maybe even that you slip back into once in a while? If you had to pick one. You want me to share mine?
Yeah, you share yours. Yeah.
Mine's the fear of missing out, right? Like mine, that's a big one, because when somebody I respect or somebody that I follow offers a new program or a new platform or a new whatever, I'm like, I want to be a part of it, right? I get caught up in the excitement, but you and I both know that's cost us many thousands of dollars in poor investment over the years, where we felt like we needed to be a part of it, but it really wasn't leading us down the path to where we wanted to go with our business.
Yeah.
So for me, that's a big one. And I still fall into that once in a while, and I have to catch myself when I head down that path.
Yeah, that's one that I was looking. I think the another one would be, you'll love your life more. And I think even it's like loving yourself more, right? Understanding that you are enough and that you are capable, that you're worthy. And that's something that I've fallen into in the past. But I can honestly say, without a doubt now, that I must be living an abundance mindset, because all of these things I see as positives, right? And I see them in my life now, and I see them with you. And I think the final one on there, the taking more responsibility for your life, that's one that I think, if we're honest, a lot of people struggle with, right? Because they don't want to take responsibility. We live in a time where we seem to want to blame circumstances or blame other people for where we are in life, right? And ultimately, the fact is, we are where we are as a consequence of decisions we've made. So we need to take responsibility for that. And when you live it with the abundance mindset, what will happen is that you will start to see those opportunities and take those opportunities and recognize those as being good opportunities. And again, the people want to be around you, I think, is something that maybe in the past we've all searched for those people that we want to be associated with, instead of living this abundance mindset and attracting the right type of people to us. So it's a real good list, and you could probably highlight everyone as
you could, right? And I think we could speak to everyone for sure. Now, I read an article the other day. It was pretty interesting, and I'm not going to quote it word for word here, but I found it interesting because this actually, I think, ties into the scarcity versus abundance. But it was an article about the younger generation, and I'm not knocking the younger generation. I have a lot of respect for a lot of hardworking 20-something-year-olds that I know that just, show up and work their butt off day in, day out to make a better life for themselves. And I respect that highly. But it said about 20 to 40% of the people in that mid to late 20 range were considering leaving the workforce and just living on government assistance because they were so unhappy or demotivated or didn't want to put in the effort. And that shocked me, actually. I was surprised
Yeah.
by that. And they're really operating in a scarcity mindset where this isn't good enough for me. I'll just go home and live off the government. And that's sad.
It is. And it is sad. And I think that you could look at it as it's them having a scarcity mindset. And you can also look at it and say the places that are working,
Yeah.
how are they treating these individuals, right? How are they living, or are they living their purpose as a business, right? Are they have they got values? Have they got integrity? Are they are they living that every day? Because
Yeah.
what I know and see in that younger generation is they want to align themselves with company, or they want to work for companies, sorry, that align with their own values and their beliefs. And I think that goes down also to the leaders within that. And, I see even in the training class I've been doing this week, one of the challenges that these new leaders are facing is the people that have been there longer, that are stuck in their ways, that don't want to be open to the new way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, in itself could potentially drive these more ambitious, younger, value-minded workers away.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
It goes back to the thing that we talked about, where people don't leave bad companies, they leave bad leaders.
Yeah.
And so I think as companies, we should be looking at our leadership and our leadership development and investing in that leadership development so that we can maximize the potential of this younger generation. Because let's face it, they're over 50% of the working population now. So we
right.
really
We need
should
them.
be.
We need
Yeah,
them. Yeah,
we should
for
be,
sure.
for sure.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a bonus conversation there.
Yeah.
Folks, hope you got some value out of it. Now,
Yeah.
all these benefits, the still on the slide on the screen, all these benefits lead to personal and professional success. An abundance mindset builds relationships, it helps you attract support, keeps you focused on the outcome, gives you the ability to overcome setbacks, motivates those around you, and so much more. Those are all such great things. An abundance mindset paves the way for prosperity and growth, whether it's more money, greater happiness, or other life experiences. And we're going to talk a little bit of an abundance versus scarcity summary here again. And the first one is the scarcity. And Chris, sorry, I don't know when you take over here. I'm sorry. I didn't put this part I don't have it on my script. I'm just reading off the slides. So
I'll tell you when I'm ready.
okay, so abundance versus scarcity mindset summary. Scarcity, there's not enough to go around. So this is really zero-sum thinking versus abundance. There's enough for everybody. And a belief in exponential growth. And I think if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, somebody that's striving to make a better life for themselves and their family, exponential growth is what you're looking for, both financially and in other areas of your life, your personal growth and development. Scarcity, times are tough, right? There's, in North America here right now and around the world, there's trade wars and rumors of trade wars and tariffs and no tariffs. And it's a nightmare. You can think at times are tough, or yet the best is yet to come. Look at the abundance part of things. There's more than enough to go around. Scarcity, suspicious, difficult building relationship, drains energy. Their fear demotivates others. Where an abundance mindset, you trust others, you build rapport, have extensive support systems. Their optimism is energized and inspires others. Scarcity, fear of change. Abundance, you're going to embrace change.
Yeah.
You up, or is it still me?
You stay for this one.
Still me. Hey, folks, I'm back. Anyway, scarcity focuses on lack, what's not working, or know-it-all. Oh, man. I know too many know-it-alls. Abundance mindset focuses on possibility. They're adaptable and they have a beginner's mindset, always willing to learn and grow and develop.
Yeah. And then that scarcity mindset again, they're the hoarders, right? They're afraid to share resources, knowledge, or credit. They want to hoard it all for themselves. Whereas the abundance are more generous. They embrace sharing resources, knowledge, and credit. It's all about everybody growing together. Scarcity mindset means you'll avoid challenges. You believe that things will only get worse, where the abundance mindset embraces challenges. They have a belief in a positive outcome. Scarcity will only see troubles and problems, whereas the abundance finds opportunities and sees possibility, always looking for the solutions. The scarcity believes in a winner takes all, whereas abundance says, let's find a win-win solution so we can all grow together. The scarcity is reluctant to collaborate, whereas the abundance is open to collaboration and really embraces it and looks for it. And finally, the scarcity sees the success of others as threatening, whereas the abundance mindset learns from and ultimately celebrates the success of others. So where are you on that spectrum? That's what we're going to ask you. All right. Now that you've read about the traits and behaviors that accompany each mindset, it's time to determine where you land on the abundance scarcity spectrum. Which mindset resonated with you most? Now, it could be that it's some of each of them, in all honesty, but which one was 51% against 49? Right. And that's what you want to work on. And in the next lesson, you're going to learn where your mindset came from so you can make the necessary adjustments, counteract negative messaging, and improve your life.
Who doesn't want to improve their life? You probably aren't watching this video or listening to the podcast if you don't want to. So if you're here, you obviously want to improve. So what are some key takeaways from this lesson? Just a quick recap. An abundance mindset is more than about money, okay? And people with an abundance mindset believe that there's enough to go around: resources, success, attention, recognition. Its opposite is the scarcity mindset. There are two layers to this mindset: the belief that resources are limited and the fear that you'll never have enough. And by dropping your scarcity mindset, you'll reduce unnecessary conflict, competition, struggle, and fear, keeping you open and receptive to opportunities.
So we're going to leave you with your action steps. First of all, do you have an abundance or a scarcity mindset? That's the question you've got to ask yourself, and be honest when you are doing that evaluation. You can take the abundance versus scarcity mindset assessment. If you're on the Raise Your Bars Facebook page, you'll be able to download that. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, hop over to the Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Facebook page. You can join for free and you can download that. Once you've completed that, write down your answers to the following questions. Were you surprised by the results? Which characteristics or examples resonated with you the most? How have you felt the effects of this mindset in your day-to-day life? How has your mindset influenced your personal and professional success? And finally, which areas of your life would benefit from nurturing an abundance mindset?
All great questions. And we want to encourage you, take this seriously. And like Chris said, download the worksheets, follow along. And again, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next week with the next lesson in Mindset Mastery. And we want to encourage you, if you found value in this, if you know somebody else that could listen to this and get some value out of it, please share it with friends, family, coworkers, acquaintances. We really appreciate that. If you're watching on our YouTube channels, please subscribe. If you're listening in podcast, also please subscribe. And again, please consider joining us on the Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions Facebook group. We would love to see you over in that group and help you grow. And if you are a business owner looking to increase your bottom line profits, go to raiseyourbars.com and watch our short webinar and let Chris and I show you how you can increase your profits by at least 25% or more in 2025 and beyond. And what business owner doesn't want to increase their profits? So you should really go check out our short webinar. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Raise Your Bars podcast. If you found value in today's episode, please consider sharing it with your family, friends, and coworkers. We would sincerely appreciate it.